Mr. Booth Templeton, serious and successful star of over 30 Broadway plays, who is not quite all right today. Yesterday and its memories is what he wants, and yesterday is what he'll get. Soon his years and his troubles will descend on him in an avalanche. In order not to be crushed, Mr. Booth Templeton will escape from his theater and his world and make his debut on another stage in another world that we call the Twilight Zone.
In the afternoon, 3:13. That's a lucky number. 313. Sure. Down with the 313.
Yeah, you know me.
Today we're going to do a few season 2 episodes in a row. Keep it easy, kind of do it in order of like where they run from. The trouble with Templeton, actually we're not going to do it. I don't know. We're recording this Wednesday. You might not see it till Saturday. We're going to record a couple of them right now.
You don't have to tell all the secrets.
Hey, I like to tell people what's going on.
Okay.
And I already gave the date.
Yeah, you did. Silly goose.
This is The Trouble with Templeton, a season 2 episode. And here's Ashley with the episode info.
The Trouble with Templeton originally aired 12/9/60, written by E. Jack Newman, producer Buck Houghton Houghton, director Buzz Kulick, cast Booth Templeton as Brian Ahern. Laura Templeton is Pippa Scott. Barney Pfluger is Charles S. Carlson. Willis is Sidney Pollack. Freddie is Larry Blake. Sid Sperry is King Calder.
All right, this episode, let's go with the ratings first off.
Okay.
This is not a popular episode. It's not a widely, there's a bunch like Eye of the Beholder, Time Enough at Last. There's a lot that are very much in the pop culture that the Simpsons do on their Halloween specials. This is not one of them. This one has grown on me a lot.
Yeah. As
an adult. It's it's similar in the vein of Walking Distance and 16 Millimeter Shrine from season 1 about going back and, those two went opposite directions. I think this probably did it better than those two.
I really like this episode. It's really good.
I'm tempted to give it a 9, but I almost feel like that's too high, but I'm going to give it a 9.
I give it an 8. Yeah, it's great. 8 is great.
8.5 was kind of what I was thinking. But I said 9, so I'll stick to it, and our average score will be 8.5. I think I don't know why it's not more popular, but I really, you know what? I'm giving it an 8.5. That's what I had decided, and I'm going to stick to it.
Okay.
Sorry to ruin everyone's hopes.
That's okay, as long as you are staying true to yourself. I think that's fine. But this episode is basically about a man named Booth Templeton, who is a famous Broadway actor, and he is older.
It takes place in 1960 when it was filmed, or 61.
Yeah.
What was the air date?
12/9/60.
Okay, so 1960.
Into 1960, yeah.
And in it, when he goes back, there's a poster that says 1927's biggest play, so 33 years before. This, we're not giving spoilers away just yet.
No.
But the opening, well, Ashley's better at this than I am. We just had some coffee, so I'm a little hyped up. But, his wife, who's his second wife, she's much younger. She's like flirting with the pool boy right outside the window of the house. And
this is a regular occurrence. He's used to this, basically.
Yeah, he's like, his butler.
Butler, yeah.
Is just kind of trying to get him to take his heart medication, and he's like, oh, I guess the missus is, not very discreet these days.
Yeah, and so he's kind of used to it, but he opines basically about his first wife named Laura, and how she beautiful and fresh. She
died at 24.
She died at 25. They married at 18, died at 25. And he misses her every single day. He doesn't even love his new wife. He's just married to her.
I like the comment he makes where he's like, when a man my age marries a woman her age, he gets exactly what he deserves.
I love that comment. I'm glad that you said that. That's like one of my favorite lines in Twilight Zones because it is so true. At least he's
self-aware.
He's so self-aware, and he's okay with it. He's accepted his fate, basically, because he knows he's never going to receive and get that love back that he had gotten from his original love, Laura. And so basically his butler is telling him, you can't be thinking about this, be dwelling in the past. Like, let's get you to the first day of the rehearsal of your brand new play. So he gets him there, and he's running late. But he's this huge star. So you know how huge stars are kind of like fashionably late. But he finds out soon that the director of this play is not down with that.
Oh, we can't skip the most annoying phrase of all time. So he shows up, and outside is the producer, the money guy for the play. And, the guy says, oh, blah, blah, blah. And he says, the young stud or something's not going to like that. He's like, young stud? He's like, I thought blah, blah, blah was directing this play. He's like, I canned him last night. And he's like, Mr. Sperry. He's like, I'm very sorry, I'm forgetful with names. He's like, that's fine, as long as you remember your lines. Ha, ha, ha,
so
ha.
Annoying.
People have said not that exact line to me, but I know that feeling when somebody says something stupid. Like, oh, what'd you play basketball when you were a kid? You're so tall. It's just stupid things people say.
Or like when you're scanning something and it doesn't scan and the person goes, oh, must be free. Like, it reminds me of that.
I've never heard that.
Oh, they say it all the time. Any retail workers will know exactly what I'm talking about.
So the young director is giving a speech, kind of giving the rundown, lay of the land, and Mr. Templeton is standing with the producer guy. They walked in together. And the secretary comes up and whispers something to the director, yada, yada, yada. It's clear that, he was calling Mr. Templeton. So he looks over and sees that he's standing in the room, and he immediately belittles him.
Right in front of the entire cast, too.
Doesn't matter if you're young or if you're old. There are no significant personalities in any of my plays.
Yeah, he's definitely, like, the boss, and he wants to make sure that I wouldn't say he wants to, like, beat Templeton's ego down. He just wants to make sure that he knows that he's the one that's in control of the show and that he's not better than anybody else that's there. That exceptions will not be made for him.
So he's like, Mr. Templeton, are you in? Or are you out? Are you in? Are you in? And he starts yelling at him, and Mr. Templeton just runs off.
He freaks out.
Like, he just freaks out. He runs off. He's lost his motivation. And when he runs outside, there's a big group of people just clapping. He's like, what the hell is going on? And he's been transported back to 1927.
In 1927 happens to be the year that he starred in his first big play, The Great Seed. We find that out soon. And so he is very confused as to what's going on. This man comes up to him and says, your wife is waiting for you. And he goes, who is my wife? He says, Laura's waiting for you. He says, Laura is dead. What are you talking about? And he goes, if she's dead, she's the best looking ghost I ever saw. So he goes and finds her. And there she is with his BFF, Barney Fluger, who also happens to be the writer of the popular play.
Yeah, so when he gets to the place, the guy, like, knocks on the door. It's Prohibition. So the guy, like, knocks on the door, and then all of a sudden, he opens the door, and you could see everybody dancing, and it's like a Prohibition, like, Roaring 20s kind of vibe.
It's a speakeasy kind of.
Yeah, but it's, really quiet, and then all of a sudden the guy knocks and gives the signal, and then, everything's booming.
So he sees Laura and Barney sitting there. Laura is enjoying a Kansas City steak, quite juicy. And they both have beers and they're having fun and they're young and it's how they were in 1927. And Booth goes over to them and is shocked and surprised to see them, cannot believe his eyes because both of them are dead. So soon he realizes that they see him as the old man that he is.
Yeah, she's like, take off your makeup, Booth. Gosh.
Yes, she's also very, like, annoyed with him, I guess, would you say?
She's just acting, like, very mean.
Yes, she's not being loving. She's not being, like, coochie coo with him.
Very as a matter of fact.
Yes, and which is what he expected, because I guess that's how they were with each other back then. So he goes, what happened, Laura? You've changed. She goes, this is the way I am, Booth. This is the way it is. And so she dismisses him completely.
Yeah, she was really rotten to him.
Yeah. She's beautiful, by the way. Whoever that actress is, oh my gosh, she's a beautiful woman.
And if you want to watch it, I'm not going to give away the full twist, but, we're getting mid-episode, so you've been warned.
So after this, basically, she dismisses him. She says, I just want to have fun. I want to dance. Leave me alone. Basically, she smacks him one. saying that he's
Oh, because he tries to pull her out of there.
yeah, he wants to hang out with her. He wants to be with her. This is his love. This is his wife.
Laura, you are my love.
Everybody knew we were in love.
And she kind of gives this whole statement like, well, this is how it is. So there's hints that, like, they know that he's, the older Templeton. Like, they're acting like everything's normal and he's just coming there after his play performance. But there's little subtle things that are said that they know.
Yeah.
Like, the friend that's also there is like, sit down, old chap. There's little hints.
Yeah.
So he's devastated and he just can't believe things are not how he remembered. One thing in the beginning, Laura's not paying attention to him and she's holding something and he grabs it and puts it in his pocket. But then he's like, he's devastated and everyone's laughing at him and he runs out.
She tells him to leave, basically. Yeah. She says, get out, leave us alone. We don't
want you here.
Yeah.
And he leaves and then all the music stops inside.
And everybody...
And starts fading to black. And you see Laura's face, like, look just sad and, like, they were... Well, we're going to have to give away the spoiler.
Yeah, do it.
So spoiler alert, go watch the episode. So it just fades to black and they stop dancing and they all have somber, serious looks on their face. So it's clear, like, whoa, something's supernatural weird here.
Yeah.
And Mr. Templeton's running back to the place. People are asking for his autograph and stuff. He goes back inside and then, boom, you see the director and the producer guy from the beginning. So he's back in normal time.
In 1960.
In 1960, and he starts fanning himself with the thing he put in his pocket. It was like a script. And he looks at it and he reads from it what to do when Booth comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he starts reading it, and it's the lines they said when he walked in, and he immediately is filled with, like, wonder, and he's like, oh, they were acting. They were doing it so I'd come back to my old life. And he immediately is inspired. It sounds a little corny, but it was done really well.
Good. Yeah, it's not corny
at all. It was done really, really well. And then the director's like, so Booth, are you in or are you out? And Booth immediately is like, I most certainly am in. And he's like, that's Mr. Templeton to you. And he tells the producer he's not allowed to be at the rehearsals. Only people involved in the play are. So he's immediately revived and just, he's found a new lease on life.
Yeah, for sure. They definitely gave him inspiration to live the life that he is in right now and make the best of it, which he decides to do. He kind of puts the director in his place, not necessarily is mean to him, but tells him, I am an amazing actor and I'm going to take charge here and I am going to work for you, but we're going to work together. And
immediately the director kind of respects him and is totally like, would that be all right with you, Mr. Templeton? Because he stood up for himself.
And he even tells the director, something amazing just happened to me and one day I am going to tell you about it. But, this, like you said before, this is the most important day in the life of a play. So let's get this shit started, basically.
And that is the entire episode. It's worth watching. Again, it's not one that I really remembered being a favorite. I don't think it's very well known in the pop culture, but as I've watched it more and more, and as Ashley's seen it a couple of times now, in prep for talking about it, I like it a lot. Again, I'm giving it an 8.5, Ashley an 8, and definitely check it out. It's a very little known gem, and I like it a lot.
Yeah, the speakeasy scene is so fun too. I love Laura's outfit. She's dressed like flapperish. She's got those like long beads and like the chunky heels, and she's doing the Charleston. And she has that like cute little like bob haircut. It's really cute.
And they were acting the whole time.
The whole time. She really misses him and loves him.
All right, y'all. We're gonna go record Nick of Time. And one of them will be posted Saturday, and one of them will be posted today. We'll surprise you. Later.
Bye.